Hey guys, it's Daniel, licensed therapist, relationship advice. You know I love it because sometimes it's just so terrible, and you're a guy here, the pro, has to analyze it, give you my reaction to let you know whether you should follow it or not. And sometimes it's just so amazingly good. It's a mixed bag, and when it's good, you have to give credit where credit is due. So Chris Rock, legendary comedian who gifted us with this classic.
Hey, I love black people, but I hate
Okay, we are not gonna go there. But Chris has this bit where he gives relationship advice. Let's check out if it's any good.
Tell you right, if you got somebody you love, hold tight. That's right, hold fucking tight. Commit. Don't be the one that's always threatening to leave, too. That's right, love hard or get the fuck out. If you're gonna leave, leave right now. That's right, at the show, right now. That's right, just break up. We got breakup booths in the back.
So I love this. Commitment, obviously, is really, really good in relationships, and it's actually one of the core tenets of relationships. John Gottman, doctor and researcher at University of Washington, is the man when it comes to relationship research and data, and he says that the relationship is like a house, and one of the walls of the house is commitment. So commitment is absolutely paramount when it comes to the health of a relationship. And if you don't have a strong commitment, well, you're in for a rough ride. So far, so good, Chris. I like it. Like and subscribe.
That's right, but before you leave, you better make sure you got some options. That's right, because some of y'all been in relationships so long, you don't know how ugly you are.
I am not too into this advice. It feels a little self-serving, and I think it could be seen as manipulative. I'm only in this relationship because I can't get a better relationship, and I'm gonna want to exit this relationship. So I'm gonna line up another person that's better while I'm in this relationship. Let me ask you something. How would you feel if you were that second person? Doesn't it feel like some kind of business transaction, like a chess move, rather than it's somebody wanting to be with you? You're just a person that's better than their previous person. And I think if we read between the lines, there's going to be someone better than you. And also, we've established commitment as one of the core tenets of a relationship. And so I am generally against anything that goes against or that's going to hurt the commitment. It's talking to other people, thinking about other people, keeping your options open, having one foot in, one foot out, prenuptial agreements, things like that. So I thought the first part about commitment was good, but this one kind of lost me a little bit, Chris. But let's keep going.
That's right. Love hard or get the fuck out, okay? You hear me? I'm telling you right now. If you're in a relationship, all you should be doing is fucking and going places. That's all you should be doing. Having sex and traveling. Fucking and going places. You should be coming and going.
That's funny. Coming and going. That's good. Me personally, I'm not too into traveling. I actually do it a lot because my wife likes to go traveling. But if I was just a single person, I'd probably never go traveling. But I don't think he means actually traveling. Traveling is a shared experiences, and we can definitely bond over shared experiences. And it's something that's good and healthy. And also, sex is a very bonding, connecting thing. And a good sex life is paramount. So the things that he's touching on here is connection. So I don't know if he thought this out or he was just making a joke about coming and going, but shared experiences and a healthy sex life are things that are very good in relationships. So Chris, I love it.
That's all you should be doing. Okay? People say, oh, relationships are tough. No, they're not. They're only tough when one person's working on it. That's right. Two people can move a couch real easy.
Man, I love this. I do feel like relationships get a bad rap these days. I feel like I hear people say it all the time. Oh, relationships are so hard. It's the hardest thing you'll ever have to do. Your life is over. Oh, you only get to have sex with one person for the rest of your life? Well, I think it's a lot easier than people think. Sure, it does take work. You can't just do nothing and expect to have a good relationship, but if both people, like what Chris is saying, are working together, it makes it much easier. And also, I think that there is a learning curve that you have in a relationship. You're learning to be a husband, you're learning to be a wife, you're learning about the other person, you're learning about yourself. And as you do that, you get better. And so I believe that it can get a lot easier.
One person can't move it at all. That's right. If you're in a relationship, let me try to help you right now. Okay, I'm trying to fucking help you. Okay. Okay. First rule one. Stop competing. It's not a fucking competition. That's right. Her success is your success, and your success is her success. Stop competing. Stop it. Okay?
So I intellectually understand what Chris is saying, but I have to admit, I don't see this problem that much in relationships in my experience as a therapist. I don't believe that it deserves to be number one on a list of things on relationship advice. It's just not very prevalent according to my experience. I can theoretically see how jealousy can negatively affect the dynamic of a relationship and definitely can hurt a relationship, but I just feel like this one isn't that common. But I think he does touch on something. If you think about the person who is jealous, what is really going on with that person? That person is insecure. And insecurity is one of the biggest killers. So even though he doesn't explicitly say insecurity, I think this is maybe what he's meaning. And so I do agree with him here.
Number two, okay? There is no equality in a relationship. It's like, we equals. No, you're not. You're both there to serve. You are in the service industry, okay?
Wow. Right on. I think that that is a wonderful way to look at it. One of the biggest difficulties I face as a therapist when I work with couples is getting them to see exactly what Chris is saying right now. If people in relationships would just focus on themselves and what they have to do for the other person, how can I serve them? How can I meet their needs? How can I make them happy? Then that would make it so much easier for relationships. Frankly, if you want to know, that's your job in a relationship. Your job is to be there for the other person. If you chose the right person, that other person would respond well and then be there for you. You don't have to point the finger at them and demand things. You can just make an ask and they will meet that ask. And this is the opposite experience I have in couples counseling. Most of the time, it's people pointing the finger at the other person. They did this or they're not doing that. They're not meeting my needs. And one of my biggest jobs and challenges is flipping that around and saying, what do you need to do? The thing is, my clients have been through it. They've been through a lot of hurt. And when people are hurt, naturally what they do is they tend to themselves. So I don't blame them for doing that, but I'm just saying that's one of the challenges in couples therapy. So I really like what Chris is saying here.
That's right. When you're in a relationship, you're in a band. You're in a fucking band. And when you're in a band, you have roles that you play in the band. Sometimes you sing lead, and sometimes you're on tambourine. And if you're on tambourine, play it right. Play it right. Play it with a fucking smile. Because nobody wants to see a mad tambourine player. That's right. If you're going to play tambourine, you play that motherfucker right. You play it with your ass. Like, tambourine, motherfucker, tambourine. Tambourine, motherfucker, tambourine. A tambourine, motherfucker, tambourine. A tambourine, motherfucker, tambourine. Play it like Tina Turner. That's right, you in a band. It's like Hall and Oates. I don't know what Oates does. But Hall never had a hit record without him.
I love analogies. Analogies are just stories we tell ourselves that inform us about what is going on. So the band analogy, I feel like, is a very perfect one when it comes to marriage. I do feel like there's a lot of other analogies out there. One analogy I use in therapy is we are on a sports team and we're working together to win the championship. But there's a lot of other natural analogies that happen, such as you're my enemy, you are the object of my pain, analogies that can be hurtful. So if we were able to adopt Chris's analogy in relationships, I think it would be tremendously helpful. I am part of a band. Hey, bands are amazing. It's fun to be part of a band. It's an honor to be part of a band. And if we had that attitude in relationships, wow, I think that would be great. So I think Chris nails it here. And he talks about the tambourine. And I don't think that the tambourine is a lesser role. It may be less glamorous, but I think it's just as important when it comes to the band and the music. So if someone can play that role, and if they can play it well, and they can play it happily, that would be so amazing for a healthy relationship. And I think that would actually indicate a healthy relationship. And not just indicate a healthy relationship. Think about that person who joyfully, happily plays that role of the tambourine. What kind of person is that person? Well, they're a happy person. They're a fulfilled person. They're a grateful person. They're not a grumbling person, not a negative person. So the person that plays a tambourine and plays it happily is somebody that is probably positive all the time. And what does that point to? I would probably say that points to that person being emotionally healthy. And if we converse that with what we talked about earlier, the insecure person, that's who grumbles when they play the tambourine. That's the person that's not grateful when they play the tambourine. And that would be hurtful in a relationship. So, Chris Rock, is his relationship advice good? Well, I actually think his advice is pretty awesome. If you have anything you want me to react to, leave it in the comments down there. Thanks for watching, you guys. I'll see you next time.